Hi. The artificial People's Assembly, an amalgamation of liberal leftists, Stalino-Trotskyites, the trade unions, held a mass demonstration against austerity being imposed by the Labour Starmer government. So much for their previous efforts, mass demonstrations with the aim of kicking out the Tories, and here they are protesting something that's exactly the same as the previous administration, that, when it comes down to it, these fools will be calling upon the punters to vote to keep Labour as government and keep reform out at the next general election. Already some of these elements are planning a broad front aimed against reform, modelled on the Anti-Nazi League. Speakers from the platform were the usual suspects: Jeremy Corbyn, Diane Abbott, John Rees, and so on, into the realms of repetitive torpor. There is a strong feeling of disillusionment for many trade unionists and working class voters, but that isn't going in the direction of anything positive, spontaneous, autonomous. Instead, it's being drawn into the siren call of Reform UK. The unions are unwilling to break away from Labour, heading to a semi-syndicalist direction and appeal to the disenfranchised and submerged third of the population. Despite these demonstrations, ultimately they will cling to Labour's coattails, thus sealing their irrelevance. These resurgent demonstrations, apart from, as always, lacking spontaneity and militant anger, being entirely passive and controlled, are nothing more than the definition of lunacy, repeating the same mistake, hoping for a different result. Yesterday achieved nothing. Resistance, if it begins to mount, will emerge from below and will probably be subverted, recuperated, destroyed by the likes of the phony People's Assembly. The cult, otherwise known as the Revolutionary Communist Party, were chanting for revolution during yesterday's political funeral procession. I don't think anybody on that march, including these nutjobs, have the slightest idea of what forms a revolution would take in this country. Yesterday was as meaningless as the Hajj ceremony being performed in Mecca, as hundreds of thousands of deluded believers circumnavigated the Kaaba and threw stones at pillars, collapsed and died in the heat, rather than of boredom, as at the People's Assembly march and rally. Bye.